And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick reminders, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. That way, when uploads get made, whether that be videos or posts and notices, you will see what the stars have to say to you. Also, individual reads are back open. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one read with me, links in bio and on main, or you can message or email me directly. That way we can set that up, yeah? So what we're looking at in this round of reads, Gemini, is going to be your career read for the month of January. About a week ago, we did the first and last reads, not only for the new month, but also the new year. And I'm very excited about what's entailed for everyone in the signs, because I've seen a lot already. And for you, this is going to be your career read examining the labor, the work, the aspects, the partnerships, the deals, every potential opportunity that can be made, and what we see to get out of what we put out, if that makes sense. So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to purposefully misguide you. That's not what I do here. We just lay it out, lay all your cards out on the table, good or bad, come rain or sunshine, and we have a conversation about it. We will talk about what we see. With that being said, let's look at your career read for the month of January. And yeah, Gemini, to my twins, let's see what the cards say. We're going to do it in the past, present, future, because career reads can be very linearly in that way. So what's the cards that we need to see, please? Starting with the past orientation for Gemini and their career read. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini and their career? We start here with the past. Ooh, easy. Okay. You, lovers, card of Gemini. I'm gonna have to see some more of that because I'm getting that in two different directions, but we'll hold off. Sun, the happiest you've ever been in regards to justice, the card of Libra. Okay. Now, normally, these would be great signs to see if it was an intimate partner kind of thing. In a career read, it kind of takes off on a different approach. So, did we love our station? Give or take, the answer is yes. We found our calling. When we pull the lovers in a career read, even if it is your sign, Gemini, and that's why I'm reading it again in a set of twins in two different directions. When it comes to pulling your card in a career read, it means we have found our calling. We give to what gives back to us. Here, me pulling that sign for you, it also means a little bit different things because, yeah, it wasn't exactly the most fulfilling, but we found ourselves so solidly, so endeared, right? We knew what we were doing. We found our calling. Boom. I am that person. I am the right person for the job. Next, the sun. And just being reminded of this is what it should feel like. This is what, when I feel fulfilled, when I do the things I'm meant to do and want to do, that's what it looks like. And so accepting the balance of the scales or how things lay out, whether that be legal procedure or just the contracts that we sign to move forward in our processes, in our own career journey, justice, hey, come what may, I'm going to do right by me, right? So it wasn't simply about finding a strong suit or a strong match for you in terms of a life's pathway, Gemini, which you already did. I can see that. But it's more so, wow, this is what feeling fulfilled while I do my work, this is what that feels like. What does that feel like, right? And so that was your past orientation. Kicking off is very strong. So what about the present? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini and their career. We now look up the here and now. What of the here and now? Again, very simple. Okay, Nine of Cups. We're actively showing and giving, I think drawing out the vibes from what I see in your past orientation, Gemini, we're showing the best of ourselves and giving what we got, right? I'm giving an honest and concerted effort to where I am in my station right now. Emperor, the card of Aries, being able to stand on decisions. So not simply feeling good and going with the vibes, but no, when I do something, I am firm and set that this is the right thing to do. It's not just, a vibe or a hunch, it's experience. Eight of Cups. Oh boy. I think that also ties in with the vibe of what the Eight of Cups are trying to provide. Give me a second. I gotta walk away from something, and that just tried to fly out of my hand. So, if we gave the best of what we got, then why are we on the verge of leaving? If it ain't matching up to where I was feeling before, it's not if it isn't, it's why it isn't, right? I'm looking at Gemini right now that, yeah, in my current station, I'm giving what I got, but why isn't, like, if it worked, then why don't it work, right? And so we're getting the vibe that I might have to leave this behind, but it more so has to deal with my fulfillment while doing it. What's going on here? Why aren't things adding up? Is it the difficulty of my current station? Is it just trying to, chase that feeling of the past? Because also understand that feeling of the past also comes from a past of inexperience as well, right? I don't want you to automatically disclude everything because it isn't picture perfect. But if this is where you're at right now, just examine why you feel like you have one foot out the door. Just a fair assessment, okay? Now, in the future orientation, show us cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini in their reading. What is held in the future orientation? Good. I like that. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side for now. For Gemini in the career read. Yours is going pretty fast. Oh my gosh. Didn't hit the table, so I can't take. Did not fly out. I cannot take. What are the cards we need to see, please? Future orientation for Gemini in their career. Okay, let's go for it. To the ones that flew out. First, the Six of Wands, an actual victory. Are we truly following our path? Are listening to our calling? We're doing the right thing. I'm looking at a Gemini who is putting their absolute best foot forward. Don't ever doubt that from yourself, okay? This is way too much good energy for there to be like that kind of inconsistency. The thing that I'm questioning is still that present orientation of your here and now, Gemini, where you feel like you're 1 foot out. So with that Six of Wands, well, what does that mean and what does that look like, right? If victory is had in that way, then is that a true victory or is that you leaving behind? Because again, it wasn't exactly what you sought out or what you expected from it, right? Those are two different vibes. The next, Judgment, the second highest of the major arcana, divine timing and intervention or divine lessons to be learned. Here, why is our 1 foot out? We're still coming back to your present here. But in your future, did you learn the lesson or are we just going to repeat it in a different way? And lastly, Ten of Cups, harmony and synchronicity. In other words, Gemini, if you leave where your current station is right now, are you doing it on the right terms? Or are you doing it compared to a past that does not exist anymore? That's just where it's at, right? Your future says, hey, if you can make the right decisions, totally your call, everything's in place, and you're saying, actually, this isn't right for me, but I can identify point by point why, what I'm willing and not willing to do, and how we will move forward with it, then yes, let that be your truth. But if you're only 1 foot out the door right now with that Eight of Cups, because, hey, this isn't reminding me of just all days being good days, like a former position, also understand you grew from that position, right? That Lover's here, like I said, because it was the first card that came out, that Lover's here being, it wasn't just about, finding the absolute perfect thing that you like. It was about you learning more about yourself. What would make you happy? What would make you feel fulfilled? And now, if that's what it's coming from, then we also have to understand we evolved from that as well. We are meant to progress. So us chasing forms of nostalgia also means we're chasing our own experience. Right? If we have a foot out the door, the question isn't if, the question is why. And that's why I want you to sit with. The universe is asking that as well over here because it wants the best for you. This is really good energy across the board, but make sure that it's done for the right reasons. Underneath it all, Nine of Cups, the notion of wish fulfillment or fulfillment of the self. When I set out that goal properly, all things can come true if we still make it. Okay. Cards of connection, reveal connective energies, please. The bridging gap between all time-based orientations located here for Gemini and their reading. We will look now between the past and the present. What is held between the what was and the what is. Because something had to go differently or sideways for you to change your disposition, Gemini. That's what's not entirely clear to me, even as your reader right now. But we'll see. Five of Pentacles. Now it's clear to me. Why do we feel impoverished or left behind? What's going along with that? Knight of Swords. Having to make quick, decisive strikes in regards to the foundation of the rest of our lives. Okay. 10 of Pentacles. So, given that the 5 is half of the 10 of the same element, here's the incurring thing I'm seeing. Is the amount of labor that you're putting in, do you feel that it's equitable for the amount of pay that you're getting conversely? Right? I'm looking at Gemini who, dang, yeah, I'm doing the right thing by the job, but this is so much. Am I getting compensated so much for all that I do? So that's the first. And the second, is this truly where I want to be? Because I'm making sharp decisions right now, and it's less about the job and more about the outlook of my life, right? I think that's where we should hold off for a second, Gemini, because we're equating it to our, dissatisfaction at our current employee, whatever that means for you, rather than sitting back and trying to learn the life lessons from it, right? Those are two different vibes, two completely different vibes, but we have to sit with it accurately and forthrightly. Okay, that's what's going on right now. It's not simply the job. It is whatever's going on internally, and how can I, piece and parcel that out properly to make the best decision, right? If I'm saying, oh, this job isn't picture perfect, well, I should probably leave it behind and then hope that the next one's picture perfect. Whatever was going on over here is what you made of it, right? It was a great experience, but that also comes at the price of evolution, right? That's just how it is. So I really want you to sit with the bigger questions of, if I am leaving, why am I leaving? Right? Because it doesn't sound entirely like you're leaving out of spite, hatred, or complete burnout. It sounds like we're just chasing a dream that may not be there right now. And that dream being a past nostalgic version of the self that, again, evolved from everything else. Yeah. And interesting because all this fell out in the reverse. So let me hold out the cards and then you'll understand why. High Priestess in reverse. Normally one who trusts their internal voice. Here, trying to find the right words to say. We're not trusting what's going on internally. The next, the Moon in reverse, card of Pisces, was normally trying to identify, this is not yet known to me. And the other parts, this is things that we may not even be comfortable with accepting or are just leaving as is, because not everything can or should be known. Two of Cups. In the upright, we have found the right intimacy or the right bonding patterns with another. Here in a career read, that would indicate, hey, we're at a good or right job. In the reverse, it's not really about the job. It's just that it may not be right for me, right? Ace of Cups, upright. It means that we are fulfilled, our cup runneth over, or our cup runneth empty. The Ace of Cups came out in the reverse. And also the Six of Cups. The nostalgic version of the self, the one who tries to remember everything that was unique and fun and almost selective in that memory. In reverse, there's no good memory to be had. Reversing that soul bond energy, because again, this is more of a career read. Between your present and your future is the lesson, right? And that's what I was trying to point out earlier, Gemini. We're tying it to the idea that this job isn't, having me smile ear to ear, just like this past experience was. However, we're also chasing after an experience that no longer exists. Part of that came with the newness of everything of where you were. Now, when we accept the present, we're not walking away simply because we've reached our the absolute conclusion that this is terrible and every aspect is bad and blah 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 blah. This, that, and the third. That's not what's going on here. We're actually trying to learn the lesson of I cannot project my desire of nostalgia and everything to be perfect onto my current status just because it's not picture perfect or where I thought it once should have been. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. I had to understand why I'm chasing the past. Why am I trying to look for the past in my present? Because I evolved to get here, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's one foot in, 1 foot out. But the question is why? And the why I'm finding for you right now, Gemini, is that I'm dissatisfied, but my dissatisfaction is tying to, just wanting to ride the good vibes of where I once was. Like, oh, I was more happy then, I was more fulfilled then, rather than understanding that also came with an experience, which made me move up. Because I see elevation here, move up towards, hey, what am I doing right now? So the bigger lesson I had is, what do we do with what we got? What do we do with what we got? I think that when we can come to a proper conclusion, whether it's one way or the other, at least let it be on your terms. Don't let it be just purely because we're chasing nostalgia. Have your reasons and have them up front. Underneath it all, Queen of Cups, showing the best and absolute fulfilled version of the self, an endearing form where we are honest in all regards. Not just for the effort that we put in at the job or the things that we fulfill in a contract, but all aspects. Be honest with yourself. What provides fulfillment? And if it's not providing fulfillment and you can list out boom, 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 point by point, well, then let that be your truth. But until we get there, let's pump the brakes a bit and try to understand what fulfillment actually means. Okay? Find the major arcana strewn across the table. We will first look at that sun is just pointing out to me. So we'll start with the sun and then we'll move out. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, to find the major arcana strewn across the table. We first look at the sun. What of the happiness that once was? Because I think this is the core theme of what's going on right now. All that massive amount of growth that you have in the past, the understanding that you are happiest here. What does that mean? Let's start here at the sun. The Emperor. That's right. That makes a lot of sense. For the first time in the longest time, you feel like you're able to make a choice, right? The reason why you were so empowered, the reason why all these things, this makes so much logical sense now, is because you were the most autonomous version of yourself back then, right? And this was at a different stage than where you are now. But that doesn't also mean it didn't have its challenges. See, the Emperor can make choices even when other people don't like them. Right, it's both the pro and con of the Emperor and the pro and con of many Aries who are tied to the Emperor. If you want to learn more about it, check out the playlist of the Learn With Me series to learn about all the cards in the tarot deck. Besides the point, the Emperor is the one who has to make decisions. And so to get to that happiness, I have to make the choice to find it. Right? To make the choice to find it, I have to forcefully push other things to the side and say, no, this is the plan, this is what we're sticking with. In other words, my decision will cause conflict. And here in the past, I think we're kind of glossing over that and just saying, oh, I was so good back then. And no, that also came with its problems. Trust me, it did. Next to the Lovers, Queen of Pentacles. And there we go, right. It wasn't simply about, the paycheck or just finding the career path or whatever. It let you find you, right? And I think that is kind of what you're chasing right now. We're marking it off as fleeting nostalgia, when in reality, we're looking for aspects of ourselves in a past self. But the thing is, if we're constantly chasing our past, we'll never grow into our future, right? That too is a part of you. All of this over here is a part of all of you in the future. It is. Trust me, I promise. However, that shouldn't be the only thing that causes your actions and causes your logic of how you move right now. Yes, it helped you grow. It helped you find the things that you're comfortable with, the things that you like. And also there's more to find out. You just got to look for it. Next to Justice, the card of Libra. 10 of Cups. That when things are truly right, when everything is put on the table, it harmonizes and it harmonizes well. And again, this was such a good scenario back here. I see why we're prone to being drawn so much to it, but also understand you grew from it. Not everything was picture perfect. Otherwise, you wouldn't need an emperor to make a decree. As an Aries myself, and knowing the power of the emperor, because that is my home sign, that is my home card, that comes at a price. You cannot need the emperor to make a final decision unless some stuff was going on, which led you to finally find that happiness. Does that make sense? Next to the emperor over here in the present, Six of Wands, wanting to have victory, wanting to have recognition, wanting to say that everything is worth it in the end. It is worth it, but you gotta decide and differentiate the you of then versus the you of now. Next to the High Priestess in the reverse, Queen of Wands. Okay, that's good. That's good. If the Queen of Wands is embracing like a very warm and enveloped hug of saying, I accept this, I accept what's going on right now, then you're actually starting to look at the conflict and the problem, right? We're not saying it will immediately be solved by me walking away with that Eight of Cups, but rather it is going to be solved when I embrace the fact that I'm emotionally messy right now. It's not fun to experience, but that's just where I'm at, right? And when we can give ourselves that space to understand where and why we're here, we'll find better conclusions. So yeah, are we trusting our inner voice entirely? No, but maybe sitting with it for a little bit longer can get us there. To the Moon in reverse card of Pisces, Nine of Wands. Ultimately, whether we know and understand it at our core level or not, the efforts that we put in to find this truth instead of just walking away will spell out everything that we need to for good answers moving ahead. And so, in Judgment, Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities present themselves when we leave on good terms, when we do the things right for us that are meant to actually be there, not by running away. Okay. In a crossing pattern, Nine of Pentacles, the autonomy of the self, the keys to our own garden. What is that crossed by? Nine of Cups, what is true fulfillment? And there we go. Our logical sense of our career-based selves says, okay, this is what it should look like. This is what optimization means. Our fulfilled self says, yeah, we had that before. It was somewhere back there. Those two have to be in conjunction with each other, not at odds, right? And so the idea that we're chasing the past means that we're also kind of overlooking, all the other things we had to do to get there, right? I don't want us to be so trapped in nostalgia that we can't move forward and properly on our own terms. One foot's out the door, the other one stays. You're still in the entryway. There's something about that decision that gives you pause, okay? And resolution, show cards of resolution for Gemini in their read. What is held in the space of resolution for Gemini in their career read today? In resolution, we hold, okay, Devil. Card of Capricorn. Good to pull the Devil right now because we are in Capricorn season. Devil gets one of the worst raps in tarot, but hey, let's call a spade a spade. It tells us the things that we don't like about ourselves. Right now, and I think I know what it's getting at, Gemini. I am your card reader. We've had this conversation for the past about 20 minutes right now, is that while you don't like your circumstances, you're also prone to chasing the past where you felt fulfilled but not experienced, right? We're chasing a past feeling because we're not dealing with our emotional reality of right now. I can be both discontented and learned. Both those things can be had mutually. But right now, I just want you to hold off, jumping the gun and saying, I need to leave this opportunity, this everything behind because it isn't picture perfect and making me happy. That isn't entirely the case. I want you to sit with all of this right now, all this emotional complexity before we just call it quits, okay? The next, Two of Wands. What is your intentionality? We have to deal with this. And until that moment happens, I just don't want you to make a hasty decision that you're going to look back on and regret, okay? Underneath it all, Death, the card of Scorpio, a form of transformation. It is not that everything on the board comes to an absolute end. It's that we transform from the indecisive to harmony. And that's how it goes. That's what I got in your read today, Gemini. We are looking back at quote unquote good or better days without conceptualizing what it took to have nostalgia for it. And so in our present, we are still getting the best of our own efforts, but we're so prone to just, I just need one more reason. I'm going to walk away from everything without actually understanding what is this feeling of discontent I have within me that's not allowing me to have a better and more informed, accurate decision about what's going on. And so in your future, you're going to have your answer, right? I just wanted it to be your answer, not the determining of chasing a past that no longer exists. Fair enough, right? That's what I got in your read today, Gemini. Hope this conversation helped. And yeah, you'll get the right answer eventually. Just hold on a little bit longer. Sit with the uncomfortable while you have one foot in and one foot out. See you around, okay? Take care.